Imagine if love was the only religion there is, right? Not Christianity, not Islam, not Judaism, you know. Imagine if whatever we believed, whether people believed in a God or not, instead of making that their number one priority to praise some, deity in the sky, imagine if they said, you know what? Instead of loving and praising God and donating my money to God, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of my business on earth. I'm going to focus on loving and looking after my fellow man and making sure my tribe and the tribes around me are content and at peace, right? And if there comes a time where I have to sacrifice a little bit of my resources or a little bit of my attention to sort of help, take care of or mentally guide or nurture another member of my tribe or a neighboring tribe, I'm willing to do that for the greater sort of peace of everyone around me, to make sure there is no sort of disturbances that could create, tension, rebellion, war, stuff like that. See, there is no good war, right? Whether you're fighting for the right or the wrong reason, you're always going to create more destruction than there was initially. Whether you're the victor, whether you're the loser, whether you're in the right, whether you're in the wrong. And we get so caught up on our belief systems and our differences, we forget to see that we are so much more similar than we are different. You could take an Asian man and a black woman, right? Two polar opposites, or so we think. They still have way more in common than they do in differences, right? We are, on a DNA, on a genetic level, it's already been proven that we are like, all of us, every race is like, 98, 99% like monkey DNA, like similarity with monkeys or whatever. So what I'm saying is, you've heard the saying, united we stand, divided we fall, right? We already know that everything is divide and conquer in this world, not just in America, in this world. Because if a small group of people decides they want to run shit, right? Let's say my family and your family decide, we just want to run shit. We just want to own this shit, and we want to own everyone and everything. Well, you can't get everyone on board with that and get them to serve under you, right? You have to keep them all fighting with each other, and then you sneak off behind the scenes and start making things your way, and they don't even know that you run shit because they're so busy fighting with each other on such a ground level over trivial things, right? What if, and I'll put it this way. Every religion, whether they want to admit it or not, a lot of people in Christianity, in Islam, and Judaism, and voodoo, and Scientology, they all look down. They all damn near despise other groups. The Christians hate the Muslims hate the fucking Jews. But here's just some food for thought, right? No matter what your practice is. What if everything you believed, what if your entire religion was a lie? What if none of it was real? And I'm not saying it's not real. Maybe it is real. But pretending that it's not real, let's pretend you got a confirmation tomorrow that all of your religions were a lie. Where would you go from there? How would you view the members of those other religions now that both of your religions have been proven to be false? Where would you go from there? Right? How would you view that person? Would they still be your enemy? Would you still view them as less than you? You see what I'm saying? I once heard this saying that every religion is like a part of the elephant's body, right? If you take people and you blindfold them and you each have them touch a certain part of an elephant's body, the Christians touched the leg, the Muslims touched the trunk, the Jews touch the ears, but they're not allowed to touch another part of the elephant's body. They can only touch the part they touched, and then they leave, and then they take the blindfold off. They will create an ideology or a belief system based on that one part of the body they touched, and they will never know that the other part existed. But what if the only true religion was the entire elephant's body, right? You'd never know that because you never felt the full body. You only felt the part that you touched, right? That's very similar to how people are with their belief systems, their ideologies, and they swear that theirs is right because they touched it firsthand, they experienced it firsthand. But that doesn't mean it's the big picture. That doesn't mean it's the whole, enchilada. It's just a fraction of it. And you're making your belief systems and your lifestyle choices and your life path, right? And how you view other people and how you like people and how you dislike people, all based on a fraction of the truth that you got. Right. So the thing is that when you really start to wake up, you realize that there really isn't much worth fighting for. See, nature is abundant. Nature gave us enough of what we actually need to where you don't really have to fight with anyone. But when you take people, you put them in a modern society, you create a man-made currency, you create jobs, you create scarcity, you drive down the labor wages by bringing people from other countries and hiring them for less money, forcing the natives of that country to compete with them for less. You create all of this war, you create all of this competitiveness. See, in nature, you really don't have to compete as much as you think you do. There are small levels of competitiveness, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like it is today. It's nothing like, the man-made competition that you live under. So I'm just going to give you some food for thought with this video. Imagine if love was the only religion. Imagine if everyone was unified. In a way, I'm not even talking about where we're going to have one race. I'm talking about every race takes care of their own tribe, right? Their own people. But they don't hate. They don't try to destroy every other race. It's not about becoming the only race. It's not about becoming the best race. It's about living and letting live while taking care of your own at the same time and still having some compassion, some consideration for neighboring races, neighboring tribes. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying we all have to stand together and hold hands, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be as hardcore as you think it does. And the things you're fighting over don't even really exist. The religions, the material possessions, it's all man-made constructs, So that's just something to think about. I'm not telling anyone to try to make some changes overnight. I'm not even telling anyone to try to go out in their community and force this belief down anyone's throat. I'm just saying, understand the information in this video and then just keep on living, right? Now that it's in your mind, now that you have sort of a sort of switch has been turned on, a sort of seed has been planted, just keep living. And then slowly you will start planting seeds. Slowly you will start doing things. And over time, very slowly, we can start to let go of things. And it's not about trading one religion for another. It's not about convincing anyone of anything. All you have to do to get back to nature is just start letting go of things. It's not about holding on to anything. It's about letting go.